Welcome to the magnificent world of the Roman Empire. Today, we will embark on an exciting journey through time and stop at the famous Colosseum, a symbol of the power and greatness of Rome. Take your imagination with you and go to the Colosseum to experience the era of Great Rome and plunge into its fascinating history. And before I start, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so you won't miss my next videos. Let's go. The Colosseum was founded in 72 AD by Emperor Vespasian and his son Titus. It was built for the entertainment of the Romans and became the largest amphitheater of its time. It took about 9 years to build the Colosseum, which at that time was not a long construction period for such large-scale architectural buildings. More than 100,000 slaves were involved, who were specially brought to Rome from Judea on the map. This country is located on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Professional builders were invited, architects, engineers, sculptors, in short, everyone who could be needed to make the building look as bright and majestic as possible. The Temple of Death was built in the shape of an ellipse, and in its center there was an arena of the same shape, surrounded on all sides by stands. The length of the outer ellipse exceeded 1,705 feet. The length of the arena was 280 feet. The width was 176 feet. On the day when the Colosseum in Rome was officially opened, more than 2,000 gladiators died in the arena and about 5,000 animals were killed. And according to the most conservative estimates, in the entire history of this unique architectural monument, more than 500,000 people and at least 1 million predators have died here. The Colosseum has a capacity of 50,000 spectators and had 80 entrances to facilitate quick and convenient public access. In addition to fights between gladiators, the Romans staged battles between animals and demonstration hunting. Lions, elephants, tigers, bears, hippos, and other exotic animals that were killed or severely injured could be seen in the arena. Animal fights were called morning games, and gladiator fights were called evening games. The winners were awarded in the form of medals, bone or metal, and statistics were kept: the number of fights, victories, and defeats. The life of a gladiator outside the arena was complex. They prepared for their performances, learned various combat techniques, and conducted famous training bouts to release their accumulated energy. Of course, there were deaths or gladiators received injuries that prevented them from performing further. After a career as a gladiator, the former warrior received a lifetime pension. The arenas of the Colosseum also hosted various triumphal processions, folk games, and even naval battles. Surprisingly, the Colosseum arena was specially flooded by about 1 meter so that ship battles could be held. Reconstructions of warships were installed in the arena so that great naval victories could be celebrated. Water flowed through special aqueducts directly into the arena. All this could be seen before the Emperor Domitian, during which a basement was made in the Colosseum, where there were rooms, passages, traps, and animals. For 400 years, volunteers, former soldiers, military prisoners, slaves, and criminals fought in the arena, and all this served as entertainment for the Romans. But the fighters were chosen for a reason. To enter the Colosseum arena, competing gladiators were selected based on their weight, size, experience, fighting skill, and fighting style. Fighting matches in the Colosseum were not only fun, but also educational events. The military also learned to watch gladiatorial fights in order to analyze the tactics and style of battle of the enemy. The levels of the Colosseum were structurally separated. The lower level served for animal displays and religious processions. The middle level was reserved for elites and wealthy spectators, while the upper level was reserved for ordinary people and theater actors. As bloody gladiator fights lost their spectacle and the Roman Empire began to collapse in the 5th century, the Colosseum ceased to be a venue for large public events. Moreover, earthquakes, lightning strikes, and other natural phenomena have significantly affected the structure, but it still remains one of the most significant landmarks in Rome and the world in general. It was only in the 18th century that the Catholic Church and many priests decided that the site of the Colosseum should be preserved. In 2019, the Colosseum was declared one of the new 7 wonders of the world, and today it attracts millions of tourists from all over the world who want to learn about its mysterious history. Surrounded by Roman architecture and historical splendor, visiting the Colosseum is the epitome of immersing yourself in the past. It not only inspires us with the greatness and power of Rome, but also reminds us of our ability to preserve and pass on our cultural heritage to future generations. And with that, I say goodbye to you. See you again on my channel.